Hey guys, how you doing? Ugo here. Now welcome back to the 99 days of value. And today is day 20. Um and I hope you're doing well. I hope life's treating you well. I hope you're smiling, shining and thriving, not just surviving, because we need to step up. Now today we're talking about something which everyone has to some extent. And I'm actually going to talk about two things in the same video. Actually, no, let's leave that one for another one. You'll get that another day. But I'm going to talk about expectations today. And, you know, there's a saying that says expectations breeds disappointment. And it's really just true. Um, you know, in this life, all of us sees the world in the way we see it. And all of us kind of go in this world in that we are this, the main character in our own movie, and forget that other people have their own movie that they're living. And you know how, like, in movies, every universe has its own, like, universe law and its own, like, you know laws of action that work in this context of the universe. Like, the laws that will happen in Batman Begins and what's plausible in reality is not the same that will happen in the Avengers. It's not the same that will happen in Inception. It's not the same that will happen in Game of Thrones. You understand? Those worlds live in their different ways, and so what comes as a concept in those words and expectation in those words become different. And so when you are expecting in your Avengers Infinity War lifestyle, you're expecting that kind of reality, when you are actually, this person you're talking to is living in Batman Begins. You're expecting Mr. Incredible's expectations when this one is doing, I was about to say Lilo and Stitch. Maybe those ones might be parallel because you got 61. Anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. You're all in your own universes. That's why they say, so what you might expect as common sense is not common sense. So essentially, you shouldn't expect people to have the same worldview as you, and there shouldn't be any frustration in that. And ultimately, expecting people to see the way you see the world is not, it's not, it's not a smart way to do it, because expectation breeds disappointment. And so in that sense, common sense is not common. So what you might expect in that this person should do or this person should say isn't what matches what you view this person should do. Hence why communication is key. And so expectations in terms of what you expect of other people, the highest my expectations for myself is the highest that you can ever see. I don't expect anybody to reach my levels of expectation of myself. And as per, I don't hold people to the standards I hold myself. I wouldn't, and I wouldn't even ask people to do something I wouldn't ask myself to do. So in that sense, the expectations you have of the person should be tempered and should actually be realistic based on the person in question. Obviously, in work, it's a different aspect, but even in that, human beings are different in and of themselves. And so I see a lot of frustration with people that, why is this person not seeing the world that I see it? Why are you expecting them to see it that way? Why did this person not respond to this the same way? Why are you expecting this person to respond, who is another whole human being, to respond to something the same way you did? We respond to stimuli and situations differently. If I'm more mentally strong or more mentally weaker than you, that's not a bearing of this specific situation of how I might deal with it. This person might not deal with this. Might be the first death they might do. They're not going to react to it the same way you've seen for. That's this, the way this person deals with a car crash. It's not the same way. How this person reacts to success, it's not the same way. That's the reason why some people, you're doing well, but this person, let me say, relatively speaking, person A is doing well, and then you're annoyed at this person because A doesn't seem overjoyed for doing well. Well, his expectation, why are you expecting him to feel happy based on your expectations of him being happy? Those things don't match up. So having expectations of people that are somewhat unrealistic, because the realism only exists in your universe. And also, it's important that when you hold expectations for other people, which a lot of people don't do, hold the same kind of energy for yourself. Now, I'm going to mix it up as well, because I'm going to talk about expectations in a different way. People have general expectations of what life owes them, or what this person owes them, or what this person should do for them or give them, whether that be in the context of life, government, or friends, family, relationships, or whatever. In truth, you don't actually inherently deserve anything in this life. That's just what it is. You don't actually inherently deserve anything as per to be expecting XYZ, and especially when his expectation graduates and carries his master's degree in entitlement. And so you are not inherently entitled to anything in this life. Majority of things you get is you grow to earn it. Respect, you grow to earn it. Certain dues, you grow to earn it. The only things that you should be due in terms of being a human being is the base level of respect, hopefully an open mind, but then necessarily you're not entitled to that person being open minded. That's kind of their prerogative, their choice to be open minded. You hope we live in a world where everyone's open minded, and so having expectations of what you feel is due to you as just being you. In this life, we earn most of the things that we're going to do, and so how to kind of combat these things, because it does breed disappointment a lot of times, because you're expecting this person to do A, but this person's living his own world. They've had their own grow up, they've had their own context of life, they see their world in a different way, and so when they do something that doesn't match up to your expectations, you get disappointed. You even feel slated. What are you feeling slated for? You have nothing to feel slated for. And so if you continue to have expectations for other people as per what you feel you deserve, as per just being a human being or just being you, that is unrealistic, that you're now projecting the expectations that this person is due to you, you're just going to be disappointed, and you'll continue to be disappointed. And understand that, I always kind of say, so to temper your expectations is more to proceed with some level of hope. Now, obviously, in aspects of like your government and certain things that are due to you as per, these people are, there's things that you are due, and these are responsibilities that you're owed. Those aren't even about expectations. You're owed those things. Government works based on consent, and that's how democracy works. They work on our behalf. So there's some things that you're owed as a citizen, as per already pre-agreed. You're not owed to have, for them to all give everybody $1 million or something like that. I'm not owed that, but owed to kind of have the basic quote unquote liberties or things that we've discussed and we've made laws. So they owe us that. And for example, you don't. It's like you work for your employer. He or she is owed your work, and you're owed the money that you're owed on payday. And those are the aspects of expectation. That's okay. I expect you to pay on this day because you owe me. But again, and that same expectation comes from things that you have earned. So when people say earned income or I've earned this, it's because you're owed that. So your expectation is different. And so sometimes, expectation is also breeds disappointment, but it also can be very unrealistic because we can idealistic of where we can go with the expectations. It's like, that's the reason why some people feel the aspect of, shifting goalposts. 1 minute you expect this from this person. That's why sometimes people temper how they work, because you've expected them to be this. Once they pass that, now you're expecting them to do this. Now they're like, my guy. So it's important that when you're dealing with people, you deal with them for who they are. Obviously stretch them, but don't put expectations based on your previous dealings with other individuals and project onto this person, because it's a whole other individual. Go into every situation you're going to with an open mind, with a baseline understanding of what you should come out of this as per a framework, whether that be business, relationships, how you view yourself, your even in terms of results. Let's say, for example, people, maybe this person did a 60-day transformation of losing X amount of kg. You might do those 60 days and you're expected to do the same thing as this person. It might take you 120 days. If you do that 60 days and afterwards you didn't get what you want, you're going to be disappointed, but you had unrealistic expectations. So when you expect something, you need to kind of temper it with reality, but you need to push yourself through hope and understanding of what's going on. That's why I say expect the worst, but hope for the best. Expecting the worst just allows you to understand the risks of what could have gone this going to failure, but accepting the failure as a potential, but not having that to withstand you to keep going. So understand that common sense is not common. So what you're like, this person should have done this, but expecting that other people should view the way you do, it's not gonna work. And so the only way to kind of get through these kind of things is to communicate and push through. But if you graduate from your expectations of the world into a level of entitlement, you're gonna graduate from your expectations of breeding disappointment to your entitlement to just breeding some level of misery, disarray, and bitterness to the world, because you're looking at the world and looking at what you feel like you're due from the world, and it's not what you're getting. And that's when you understand that your expectations are probably not realistic. And so, expect from yourself what you want to expect from yourself. That's per to push you. But I'm more talking about what you expect from others in the world. Don't have low expectations for yourself, but don't go and give yourself unrealistic ones, because as I said in different, not me, but you've heard this quote, you don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. So don't, if you're a fish, be judging yourself on how fast you can swim, but not by how you can jump over a tree. It's one of those ones. So ultimately, the only thing we expect is to try and do our best. Trying to keep pushing, and the expectation for yourself should be relatively mid to high. But in terms of other people, you're dealing with other people, and then but what they owe you and what they're due to you, definitely expect that. But things in terms of off the bat in your first interaction with people or people you interact with, it's very important for you to come into these things to understand who you're dealing with, understand the person, because the context of their life and how they've lived feeds into their decisions and how they act. And if you come with a level of expectation without any base level of understanding, you're probably going to be disappointed. And so, you feel safe in echo chambers, but it's important for you to just, try and show a bit of compassion when you're going with it, and also simultaneously show a bit of compassion to yourself, because maybe you might feel you're due certain things, and maybe that's where the expectation comes from, and life can be unfair, so you might not always get what you feel that you're due or what you feel you're owed. But in there you might have to communicate, because the people that you're dealing with might not see that you're owed anything. And then again, communication is the only thing that can break the barrier of expectation and bring that into reality. So expectations breed disappointment, but what you're owed and what you're due comes from what you've actually earned. So I hope this has brought some different perspective to you. I hope you've had a lovely, lovely day. This has been the 99 Days of Value, and understand that you are valuable. So I'll speak to you soon.